Reality doesn't wait to be created, it waits to be remembered. They tell you to visualize harder, to write it down, to say it 10 times a day until it finally appears. But what if that's not how reality works at all? What if every time you chase your dream, you're actually pushing it further away? Because the universe isn't responding to what you say, it's responding to what you are. Think about it. You've seen moments where something you barely thought of just appeared. And other times, you obsessed, you prayed, you begged, and all you got was silence. It's not randomness. It's resonance. Every thought, every emotion, every heartbeat is a signal sent into the quantum field. A field that's listening not to your words, but to your frequency. This is where most people misunderstand manifestation. They think it's magic, or luck, or delusion. But the truth is simpler, and infinitely deeper. You're not learning how to manifest. You're remembering that you already do. Every second, every choice, every vibration. And if you can remember who you really are beneath the noise, reality will bend. Not because you forced it, but because you finally matched it. You've probably heard it 100 times. Just think positive. Believe it, and you'll receive it. It sounds simple, but deep down, you know it's not. Because if it were that easy, you'd already be living in the dream you've been picturing. And yet, something feels missing. Something they never explain. You write affirmations. You repeat mantras. You visualize until your mind aches. But the more you try, the further away it seems to go. Almost as if reality is teasing you. But here's the truth that most people never realize. Manifestation isn't about wanting something so badly that the universe finally gives in. It's about aligning your inner frequency with what already exists. See, the universe doesn't hear your words. It reads your signal. It doesn't respond to what you say you want. It mirrors the energy you broadcast. So when you say, I want abundance, the universe hears the vibration of I don't have it. When you say, I want love, it feels the frequency of I am incomplete. That's the illusion. Thinking you can trick the field with words while your energy whispers the opposite truth. You're not a radio trying to create the song. You're the receiver, tuning to the frequency where that song is already playing. This is the hidden gap between desire and embodiment, between asking for a new reality and becoming it. And yet, this illusion has purpose, because it's through this friction, this endless reaching, that most people begin to awaken. You start to see that the real work isn't about attracting what you want, but remembering who you are when you stop chasing. Most people never get past this phase. They loop in self-blame. I must not be visualizing enough. I'm not spiritual enough. I'm not doing it right. But manifestation isn't punishment or reward. It's reflection. Just as a mirror doesn't change when you frown at it, reality won't smile. Until you do. It doesn't obey your commands, it reflects your consciousness. You could spend hours scripting your future, but if your inner dialogue is filled with fear, comparison, or scarcity, then the signal you're sending is static. The illusion of manifestation is that it begins with effort, but effort belongs to the ego, and creation belongs to awareness. Because when awareness expands, energy moves differently. The mind stops trying to get, and the heart begins to allow. So pause for a moment. Take a breath. Feel your heartbeat, not as something happening inside you, but as something the universe is doing through you. That rhythm, that pulse, is the same rhythm that shapes galaxies, the same rhythm that turns potential into form, the same rhythm that manifests realities. When you feel that, you stop asking, how do I make it happen? and start realizing it's already happening through me. And that's the first step out of the illusion, to stop chasing creation and start becoming it. Because manifestation doesn't begin with wanting. It begins with remembering. There's a field that exists beyond what your eyes can see. A silent ocean of energy, invisible yet infinite, where every version of you already exists. Scientists call it the quantum field. Mystics have called it the void, the source, or the space between thoughts. But names don't matter. What matters is this. Everything you've ever wanted already lives there, as potential. Every thought, every emotion, every image you hold in your mind isn't just imagination. It's a vibration, a frequency. And when that frequency stabilizes, reality rearranges itself around it. You've felt it before. The moment you think of someone and they suddenly call you. The strange coincidences that pull you toward the exact thing you needed. That isn't luck, it's resonance. In the quantum world, particles don't exist as solid things. They exist as waves of possibility, shimmering in superposition. Every potential outcome, all happening at once. Only when they are observed, when consciousness meets them, does one possibility collapse into reality. You are that observer. Your awareness is the collapse mechanism of the universe. Every second, infinite timelines exist all around you. Timelines where you're abundant, healed, in love, fulfilled. They aren't waiting to be created. They're waiting to be chosen. But here's the paradox. You can't choose them from the same state that created your limitation. You can't think your way into a new frequency. You must become it. Think of the universe as a mirror, not metaphorically but literally. Every image you project through your state of being is instantly reflected back through experience. So if you look into the mirror of life and wait for it to smile before you do, you'll wait forever. Because the reflection follows you, it never leads. And yet, this mirror is compassionate. It shows you, with perfect precision, what you're broadcasting, moment, tiered by moment. When you feel trapped, the field doesn't punish you. It simply reflects your frequency of trapped. When you feel free, it reflects freedom. That's how precise it is. This is why emotions are the language of creation. Thoughts send the signal, but emotion amplifies it. The heart is not just a metaphor for love. It's a literal electromagnetic field, 5,000 times stronger than the brain's. And when your heart and mind move in coherence, your signal becomes laser-focused. That coherence, when thought and emotion align, is what ancient mystics called oneness. It's what quantum physicists call superposition collapse. Different words, same truth. Consciousness creates coherence, and coherence creates form. But the moment you doubt, the moment you look for proof, you collapse back into the old frequency. Because seeking proof says, I don't yet believe. And the field always mirrors belief. You might wonder, then how do I stay in that alignment? The answer isn't control. It's awareness. When you notice yourself thinking from fear or lack, you don't fight it. You observe it. Because observation itself is transformation. Just as a scientist observing a particle changes its behavior, you observing your own energy changes your frequency. Awareness is the reset point of reality. The more you anchor your awareness into the present moment, the closer you get to the quantum truth. That you are the field observing itself. Right now, everything around you, the chair you sit on, the sounds in your room, the people who will cross your path tomorrow, is being drawn into form through your state of being. You are not a small creature lost in a vast universe. You are the universe, momentarily playing the role of you. When you understand this, you stop chasing outcomes and start adjusting frequencies. You no longer ask, "How do I make this happen?" You ask, "What version of me already lives in that reality?" Then you become that version, internally, emotionally, energetically, and the field reorganizes accordingly. Because in the quantum field, the future isn't ahead of you. It's vibrating all around you, waiting for recognition. You don't move through time. Time moves through you. So when you begin to embody the frequency of what you desire, with full awareness, with open heart coherence, the field cannot resist. It must reflect. It's not a question of if, but when. And when depends entirely on how deeply you can remember that you're not separate from the field. You are the field. And once you see that clearly, you'll understand why forcing reality never works. Because the universe doesn't respond to effort. It responds to alignment. And that alignment begins not in the mind, but in the silent rhythm of your being. You've probably felt it before. That strange resistance that shows up right when you start to believe. You set your intention, feel the energy rising, you know it's coming. And then suddenly, doubt creeps in. Silence. Nothing moves. Reality feels frozen again. This is the hidden trap. The one that keeps even the most devoted manifestors stuck in limbo. Because the moment you start wanting something too much, you unknowingly begin vibrating with the absence of it. Desire turns into tension. Tension turns into control. And control collapses your frequency. The field doesn't understand your words. It understands your energy. And energy born from lack can only create more of it. It's like trying to tune into a radio station while standing in static. You can shout at the radio, twist the knobs, demand the signal to appear. But until you stop and fine-tune your frequency, all you'll hear is noise. That's what emotional resistance is. Noise in your signal. And it often disguises itself as effort, obsession, or spiritual work. You think, "I'm doing everything right, so why isn't it working?" But beneath that question lies a hidden frequency. The vibration of, "It's not here yet." And the field responds with perfect precision. Okay, then it's not here yet. This is the trap. When you crave the outcome, you emit separation. When you chase, you confirm distance. When you seek proof, you announce disbelief. The universe isn't testing you. It's mirroring you. And this is where most people give up. They start believing the field has rules or limits, that maybe they're not chosen or spiritual enough. But this isn't about worthiness. It's about resonance. You can't tune into abundance while vibrating in need. You can't experience love while anchored in the energy of loneliness. You can't receive clarity while broadcasting confusion. It's not personal. It's physics. He field can only show you you. Here's the paradox. You can't stop desiring, but you can detach from needing. The difference is everything. Desire is creation. Needing is distortion. When you desire something purely, without fear, without desperation, your energy expands, inviting the quantum field to organize around that potential. But when you need it to fill a void, your energy contracts, and the void echoes back louder. It's like standing at the edge of a still lake. If you throw rocks in frustration, the water ripples chaotically. You can't see your reflection. But when you stand still, completely still, the water calms, and suddenly, the image becomes crystal clear. That stillness is alignment. That stillness is trust. You don't manifest by forcing. You manifest by remembering. Because when you remember that you are already connected to the source of everything, you stop needing and start allowing. This is why surrender feels so paradoxical. To the mind, surrender means giving up control. But to the universe, surrender is a signal of faith. It says, I trust the field. I trust my vibration. I trust the unfolding. When that happens, your frequency stabilizes, and a stable frequency collapses potential into form, effortlessly. So the next time you feel resistance, don't fight it. Notice it, because the moment you see it, you're no longer in it. Awareness, again, becomes the alchemy. You can't heal what you avoid. You can only transform what you illuminate. And when you start illuminating those moments of lack, fear, or impatience, you'll realize something profound. The universe was never withholding anything from you. It was simply waiting for your signal to clear. And once it does, you'll feel it. The shift. The stillness after static. The moment when your energy stops reaching and starts radiating. That's when the field begins to move again. Not because you commanded it, but because you finally became coherent with it. Every transformation begins with a collapse. Before the butterfly ever flies, the caterpillar dissolves into nothing. And yet, no one talks about that part. They talk about becoming your higher self, but not about the breaking that happens before the becoming. The shedding of everything you thought was you. When your reality begins to shift, the first thing that collapses isn't the world around you. It's the version of you that created it. And that collapse feels like chaos. Things fall apart. Plans stop working. People drift away. Your old habits, old thoughts, old comforts, they start to die, and it can feel like you're losing control. But you're not losing anything real. You're just watching the old frequency fade out. Because every identity carries a vibration, and every vibration sustains a specific timeline. To step into a new reality, the old self must dissolve. It's quantum law. Think of it like a radio tower changing its signal. The old broadcast must fade before the new one can come through clearly. If you cling to both, you create interference, static, and that's the confusion you feel when nothing seems to make sense anymore. This is the sacred dismantling, the part of the journey where the universe asks you to let go of who you were so you can remember who you've always been. But the mind resists. The ego fears the void. It whispers, if I let go of control, everything will collapse. And the universe gently replies, yes, so that it can finally be rebuilt. Surrender doesn't mean weakness. It means alignment. It means trusting that the intelligence that breathes galaxies into existence also knows how to rewire your life. Because the truth is, you've never been in control. You've only been in resistance. Control is the illusion the old self clings to when it's afraid of disappearing. But disappearance is exactly what opens the doorway to the quantum. In the cocoon, the caterpillar doesn't build wings. It melts. It dissolves into formlessness, and from that formlessness, a new pattern emerges, a new vibration. You're doing the same. When everything feels like it's falling apart, you're actually returning to pure potential. That uncomfortable stillness, the void between identities, that's the quantum field opening before you. In that void, everything is possible because nothing is fixed. It's the moment of superposition, where infinite versions of you shimmer, waiting for your next state of being to choose one. So instead of asking, How do I fix my life? Ask, who is being revealed through this collapse? The old self measures time by effort and logic. The new self moves through frequency and trust. That's why surrender is so powerful. Because it's not passive. It's a vibrational declaration. It says to the universe, I am ready to release the frequency that no longer matches my future. And when you do that, reality starts to reorganize. It looks chaotic from the human view. Missed opportunities, unexpected endings, sudden silences. But from the quantum view, it's a perfect recalibration. Your energy field is being rewritten. Your neural pathways are rewiring. The brain, the heart, the field, all synchronizing to a higher pattern. That's why during deep transformation, you may feel emotional waves, sadness, emptiness, nostalgia, even grief. You're grieving not what's gone wrong, but what's no longer needed. The universe can't fill a space that's already full. So it empties you first. And in that emptiness, something beautiful happens. The silence becomes alive. You start to sense a presence behind the noise, the witness, the consciousness that observes it all. That's the real you. The observer, not the story. The awareness that exists before every thought. And when you realize that, the fear of collapse fades. Because you understand, you can't lose what you truly are. You can only shed what you're not. This is the moment where creation begins again. Not from wanting, but from remembering. Because the new self doesn't try to manifest. It radiates. It doesn't chase outcomes. It becomes resonance. And once that happens, reality has no choice but to rearrange itself around you. So if you're in the void right now, if everything feels uncertain, unclear, unsteady, know this. You're not falling apart. You're falling into alignment. The moment you stop trying to believe and start simply knowing, that's when reality begins to move. Belief still carries doubt. Belief says, I hope this will happen. Knowing says, it already has. That's the shift that separates wishful thinking from quantum creation. Because the universe doesn't respond to your words. It responds to your frequency. And your frequency doesn't come from what you want. It comes from what you know yourself to be. In the quantum field, every possibility already exists. Infinite realities are vibrating side by side, like countless stations on a cosmic radio. You don't create your new reality from scratch. You tune into it. That tuning is the art of knowing. When you know something deeply enough, your body, your emotions, your thoughts, and your energy all agree. That coherence is what collapses the wave of potential into form. You are the tuning fork of your universe. When you vibrate with certainty, reality has no choice but to harmonize. But most people never reach this level, because they confuse desire with resonance. They want what they don't yet believe they can have. So their vibration says, not yet. That's why you can visualize for hours, repeat affirmations, do rituals, and still nothing changes. Because deep down, your subconscious still whispers, I hope this works. The quantum doesn't speak hope. It speaks knowing. So how do you enter that frequency? How do you move from hope to embodiment? It begins with identity. You don't manifest what you want. You manifest what you are. To know your new reality, you must feel the emotional signature of already being it. Not pretending, not forcing, but aligning. Close your eyes and imagine the version of you who already lives in that reality. Notice how they breathe, how they carry themselves, the calm in their energy, the quiet certainty in their tone. Now feel that in your nervous system, in your heart, in your cells. Anchor it. Let your body memorize that frequency. This is embodiment. And the more often you enter it, the more your subconscious begins to accept it as truth. The quantum responds not to effort, but to familiarity. What feels familiar becomes what's perceived as real. That's why repetition is sacred. Not because it's logical, but because it trains your vibration to recognize your desired reality as home. So instead of chasing, you start magnetizing. You stop asking, when will it happen? And start declaring, it's unfolding now. That's the frequency of knowing. A calm, grounded certainty that transcends time. It's not arrogance. It's coherence. Because when your energy is coherent, time bends. Synchronicities multiply. The right people, messages, and moments begin to appear with precision that feels almost supernatural. But it's not supernatural. It's quantum precision. You've aligned your broadcast with the version of reality where that outcome already exists. In that state, manifestation becomes effortless, not because life stops challenging you, but because you stop interpreting challenge as resistance. You see it as calibration. Every delay, every obstacle, is just your old frequency phasing out, and your new one solidifying. That's when the mind finally relaxes, because you understand that you're not making things happen. You're allowing what's already true to reveal itself through you. And that is what mystics called faith. Not blind belief, but vibrational certainty. This knowing doesn't need proof. It creates proof. Because once you hold the frequency long enough, reality has no choice but to mirror it back. The universe is too precise to contradict resonance, so practice being. Not thinking, not wanting, being. Wake up as the version of you who already has it. Walk like them. Speak like them. Feel gratitude as if it's already real. Because in truth, it is. You're just catching up vibrationally, and soon, you'll look around and realize that the world around you has shifted. Not because something changed out there, but because you became the version that matches the new signal. This is what it means to become a conscious creator. Not to fight against reality, but to tune reality through your state of being. And when you master this frequency, you'll understand why the greatest teachers never said, "Believe and you will see." They said, "Know, and it shall be so." Time, the most convincing illusion ever created. We were taught to think of time as a line, past behind us, future ahead, and we stand somewhere in between, moving forward step by step. But that's not how the universe sees it. In the quantum field, time doesn't move. It exists all at once. Every version of you, past, present, future, already vibrates within a field of infinite potential. And what you call manifestation is not about creating your future, but aligning with the frequency of the version of you who's already living it. You don't move through time. Time moves through you. Every thought, every emotion, every decision tunes your consciousness to a specific point in that field, like jumping timelines with your vibration as the navigator. When you feel lack, you align with the timeline where lack persists. When you embody abundance, you align with the one where abundance flows naturally. Nothing mystical, pure frequency mechanics. Quantum physics calls it superposition, the idea that every possible reality exists simultaneously until you observe one into being. And the observer isn't your eyes, it's your state of consciousness. That's why people who wait for their manifestations often wait forever. Because waiting vibrates as not yet. The more you wait, the more you delay.
because waiting reinforces the timeline where it hasn't happened. But when you collapse time, you stop waiting and start embodying. You realize the future is not something to reach for. It's something you remember. Think about déjà vu, that fleeting feeling that you've been here before. That's your higher self whispering. You've already lived this moment in another timeline. You're not predicting it. You're syncing with it. Now imagine doing that consciously. Imagine stepping into the energetic memory of your dream reality and walking through it as if it's already done.
That's not pretending. That's quantum alignment. Neuroscience even backs this up. Your brain can't tell the difference between an experience vividly imagined and one physically lived. So when you emotionally rehearse your desired future, you're firing the same neural pathways as if it's happening now, and the body follows the mind. It begins to release the same hormones, the same energy signature as that future self. The signal you send into the field becomes coherent, clear, powerful, magnetic. That's when the field responds. Synchronicities appear not because they're new, but because your perception finally tunes into the frequency where they already exist. This is how you collapse time. You remove the energetic distance between wanting and being. When people say it happened overnight, it didn't. They just aligned with the version of themselves where it had already happened, and the shift was so fast, it felt instant. So here's the real secret. The future you're chasing is not in front of you. It's inside you. Every time you choose to feel differently, think differently, and act differently, you are stepping into that future version. It's not magic. It's neuroplasticity. Your brain rewires to match your chosen vibration, and your electromagnetic field begins to broadcast a new signal. The universe doesn't deliver your dreams to you. It delivers you to your dreams. That's why the most powerful manifestors seem calm. They're not rushing. They're not begging. They're aligned. They know that everything is unfolding on the timeline that matches their frequency, and that time isn't something to beat, it's something to collapse into. So if you've been asking, when will it happen? Ask instead, what version of me is it already happening to? And then, be that version. Think like them. Move like them. Make choices from their calm certainty. Because the quantum field isn't responding to what you want. It's responding to who you are right now. Every moment is a doorway. Every emotion is a key. And the only distance between now and then is the illusion that they're separate. Once you feel the oneness of all timelines, you'll see that manifestation isn't about chasing the future. It's about collapsing the separation and realizing you've always been the creator behind it. There comes a moment in your awakening when you stop searching for proof and begin feeling the truth. It's quiet. It's subtle. It's not a lightning bolt. It's a whisper from somewhere beyond your mind that says, you were never trying to manifest anything. You were simply remembering who you are. Everything you've been chasing, the money, the love, the peace, the purpose, was never outside of you. It was coded within you, like a seed waiting for awareness to water it. You didn't need to learn how to manifest. You needed to unlearn how to forget. Because at your core, you are not a human trying to reach the quantum field. You are the field, momentarily dreaming itself as human. When you look at the night sky and feel that quiet awe, that sense that something vast and intelligent is holding you, that's not the universe reminding you of its power. That's your consciousness recognizing itself. You are both the observer and the observed, the wave and the collapse, the dreamer and the dream. Every thought you've had, every emotion you've felt, was not random. It was data, feedback from the field, showing you your own vibration in form. So the pain, The setbacks, the delays, they weren't punishments. They were recalibrations. They were reality's way of whispering, "You're close. Just tune a little finer." And when you finally stop fighting what is and start trusting what is becoming, you unlock a peace that doesn't need outcomes. Because you understand, manifestation isn't about control. It's about coherence. You become like a mirror so clean, reality can't help but reflect your clarity back. You stop needing signs because you are the sign. You stop asking, "When will I get there?" Because you realize there is no there. There's only here, unfolding. And the truth hits deeper than ever before. The universe isn't responding to you. It's expressing you, ever. Synchronicity is your own energy saying hello. Every manifestation is your consciousness in motion. You are not commanding the universe. You are communing with it. The observer effect, the placebo, the neural pathways, these are just the scientific languages for something mystics have whispered for centuries. You are the cause behind every effect. You are the stillness behind the storm, the awareness that dreams both shadow and light. And when you remember this, the world no longer intimidates you. It inspires you. You no longer pray to the universe. You pray as the universe. You walk differently. You speak differently. You create not from lack, but from overflow. Because you finally understand that life isn't something happening to you, it's something happening through you. The trees breathe with you. The stars pulse with you. Every atom around you is listening for the next vibration you choose to send. And in that awareness, creation becomes effortless. Not because it's easy, but because it's natural. You realize that all manifestation ever was is consciousness rearranging itself to match the song of your belief. And now, you don't just believe. You know. You are the frequency. You are the observer. You are the creator remembering itself through experience. So take a breath. Right now. Feel your awareness expand beyond the edges of your body. Feel your timeline dissolve. Feel the field respond to your recognition. That's alignment. That's coherence. That's creation. And from this moment on, you never again need to ask how to manifest. Because you finally see. You were never manifesting reality. You were manifesting yourself.
If this message resonated with you, pause for a moment and reflect. What did your soul remember today? Drop it in the comments below. Your words might just awaken someone else's remembering. And if you're ready to keep expanding this journey, subscribe, stay in this frequency, and let's continue to decode the quantum together. Because this isn't just a channel. It's a frequency, and you are part of it.